Hi, hello, and welcome to the Countdown, our show where board-certified child and adolescent psychiatrists, as well as trainees, join us to discuss hot-button topics in screen media, as well as youth mental health. Here at the Countdown, the rules are a little bit different than our typical shows. 2.5 minutes each topic, and we move on. At the very end, we have a chance to do a quick summary for listeners out there. Is everybody ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Timer's on the start. 3, 2, 1. All right. Our first topic is the TikTok ban. The TikTok ban was a piece of legislation that was passed or through the House of Representatives recently. And there has been so much swirling about this topic, right? TikTok, Meta, Instagram, Threads, all of this stuff is trying to compete. And now, because of threats of foreign security, as we are told, TikTok is going to be potentially banned or sold from ByteDance. And we're not sure if it's going to go or not. What have you guys heard about it? I can talk more about the specifics too.
From what I understand, it was the House that has passed this. It has not been passed yet by the Senate. So it's not official yet. The Senate would have to also pass it, correct? And then the president? No, Stella's going to correct me.
Oh, no, I was just thinking about it from the teenage kids side of things.
Okay. I saw you go like this. I was like, oh, no, I have it wrong.
No, you're great.
That's my understanding. I don't know if that's likely to go through, if that's considered unlikely or not. But then my other just quick take on this is that, like, I'm trying to understand how monumental this would really be, assuming that TikTok did get transferred from ByteDance to another country. I mean, do we really think it's going to disappear? I have to imagine it's going to continue either under that name or something else. So I'm trying to understand how substantial this piece of news is.
Yeah, I think TikTok is always going to be around because, first of all, it was Vine and then Musical.ly and now TikTok. So some part of it is always going to stay. And I think TikTok kind of does a lot for the industry, like music, and also just kids and businesses as well. So I feel like it does a little bit too much for it to just completely disappear.
100% agree. 170 million Americans use TikTok. The overall general idea is that TikTok would be, yeah, more than a half use it. It is the most popular social media company right now, just rivaling Meta. And what's pretty fascinating about it is that they don't want TikTok to quote unquote be banned. They want it to be divested from ByteDance and then have American ownership over it, which China is not expected to do with its legal, its subsidiary, right? So it's probably not going to happen. I'm really curious on who would take ownership if it did.
And would we all be restarting with a fresh account, or would this?
Oh, we're out of time. Next topic.
Okay, let's do it. Looks maxing. Looks maxing, for those who don't know, is a trend, relatively recent, but I mean, this says origins tracing back to 2014. I'm on the Wikipedia page here. That essentially is a term to describe the process of maximizing or optimizing someone's physical appearance. So maxing then as a kind of suffix took on other types of words, such as starve maxing, as the name would suggest, about weight loss and restricting, white maxing, to look as white with your skin as possible, and several other ones. And then within that, there's soft maxing, which is kind of low key, like, kind of moisturizers and creams and topicals and stuff, and hard maxing, which involves something, as intense as implants and surgeries to actually change the physical, like, bone structure of your face. So with that intro, who's got a hot take on maxing and looks maxing?
I mean, personally, my big thing is that this is just another flavor of body dysmorphia that we're seeing in the psychiatric world. This is somebody who looks at their self and says, I hate this portion of me, and I am going to, change it or do something. We know that with those patient populations, self-harm, suicidality skyrockets, and we have to be really, really careful. So when I hear looks maxing, right, we're going into body image comparison, and then we're going into from like the makeup tutorial to plastic surgery and the dangers behind that too.
Yeah, I actually really didn't have a problem with look maxing because from what I can see on my Instagram, people just either get haircuts or change the way they dress or change their makeup looks. Like Dr. Seuss said, I think that's when it becomes dangerous when you border on eating disorders and wanting to get certain procedures or plastic surgeries. That's when it kind of turns into something quite dangerous. But from what I can see so far on my Instagram, at least what the algorithm is showing me, the kiddos aren't doing that quite yet, but it could morph into that.
I mean, and it's not like leveling up, it's maxing. So the name implies that we're going to be as extreme about this as we possibly can, and that will rise to the top, and I'll get more followers and attention if I max out on whatever it is I'm doing. How's our time?
And on top of that, jawlines. That became a
Jawline.
big thing with maxing and making male jawlines really prominent. Next topic, let's roll.
Okay, we got K-pop
K-pop
glow-ups.
glow-ups. Yeah, so a little bit about K-pop. Trainees train under companies, and before they can become idols or singers, they have to undergo a huge transformation. They have to lose weight, they have to undergo plastic surgery, get their nose changed or jaw shaved, eyelid surgery, things like that. And the fans kind of have different concerns. Some fans are for it because it quote unquote makes the idols look more prettier. As you can see in the case of Wonyoung, that side-by-side profile, fans are like, she looks way better than she did before, but she was 13 in the original photo. And over a series of years, now that she's 18, this is what she looks like now. So she got the procedures quite young. So fans are also concerned because the fans who watch her videos and watch her music are quite young as well. So is that, advertising plastic surgery to that audience? So that's kind of what look maxing is in this community and why people are kind of concerned about it.
I mean, all due respect, well, I guess is like, first of all, I can't tell that many differences. I'm trying to look closely, but like, she was
Yeah, so she
pretty
had
in
quite a
both
lot.
pictures.
She is, but unfortunately, she got her chin shaved.
Chin line
Her
is a little
jaw,
different.
yeah, her jaw shaved, nose, job. She had her eyelids. I forgot the surgery, but it made them more open and relaxed. So she
Okay.
had quite a bit done, and she was only 13. She's like
Yeah.
19 or 20 now, but she
Right.
got them done quite young.
And looking at the comments here, by the way, um, how to make smile and mouth lines less sunken.
Mhm.
So people then comment on these videos wanting to know for themselves. And I see there's 30 replies here. I'm not going to read them all, but like to treat your nasolabial folds, these you can blah, 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 blah. So these become breeding grounds for people to ask how to change their own appearances.
Exactly.
She has, by the way, no nasolabial folds in either picture, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, they become quite focused on
I
minute
have some.
details. Yeah, but I think that's normal. That's natural. We all have that. But
Right.
K-pop is about looking your absolute best at all times. But normal people can't really do that because, we're not surrounded by plastic surgeons or,
Right.
yeah,
Best. It's not achievable by a normal human.
exactly.
Ash, were you about to say something?
No, there's nothing to add except it was so bad for this girl.
Yeah. All
I
right.
feel terrible.
Oh,
Next
sorry.
topic.
Okay, tell us about this article.
All right, so we are here because of the intersectionality of screen media and youth mental health, and this is an actual direct corollary of increased screen time leading to developmental delays. This study was done, published in 2023 in JAMA Pediatrics, and what it
Big deal.
looked
Big
at
deal.
with big deal in the scientific community, and what it looked like was over 7,000, I believe, Japanese parent child dyads, right?
Right.
From the ages of 1 to 4. And they examined their screen time use from 1 to 2, and then looked at developmental delays from 2 to 4. And what they found was that there was a dose response association with greater
Right.
screen time, right? But what exactly does that look at? Well, any screen time more than, I believe, 1 to 2.5 or 1 to 2 hours at that young of an age led to developmental delays. And as you increased in that amount of screen time, you start to see even more and more developmental delays. So it is something that we've kind of seen in the American Academy of Pediatrics with no screen time before the age of 2. But this is one of the first studies that actually quantifies what happens if you have excessive screen time. So it's really important to kind of just highlight dose response, I think.
They talked about an association, right? There's no causation yet. It's not
Right.
something that causes it. This is just an association between the two, which always means, could it be going in the opposite direction too? Could it be that children who were destined to get to have developmental delays maybe behaved in a certain way that also led to their parents showing them more screens? Just to think of how it could, for example, be reversed there. So not conclusive, but very, very telling for sure. And then the other thing they said is, there's different domains of developmental delays. We can't just take it as a whole. There are fine motor delays, there's social skills delays, these are all speech delays. These are all different categories. And the ones that were problematic in the study were communication and problem solving. And what they concluded is we need to separately consider the different domains of developmental delay when talking about this stuff. We can't simply say this causes developmental delays because there's different types of delays. But very interesting. Stella, do you have a take on this?
So again, I'm on the Instagram.
Run out of time. Oh no.
Stella,
We'll
you'll go first on this
We'll
last one. Stella's gonna go
I
first on
know.
this last one. Okay,
Last
introduce it
one.
for us, and then we're gonna start with Stella's view.
All right. Last topic. 66 titles last year saw more than 80% of all playtime in 2023. Now we're talking about video games such like Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto. And that's a big deal because in the video game industry, when you have thousands of games that are being produced, if only 66 titles are taking up the time of all your children and all your adults who are playing video games, you can smell the idea of monopoly. So this is really important, especially when new games are developing and what we need to know as clinicians of what's going to be popular, because majority of the games that were played last year are more than 6 years or older, which means that if you don't understand Grand Theft Auto or Fortnite or Roblox or Minecraft, you have time to catch up.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think this is great, at least for me, because I definitely need time to learn how to play video games in order to keep up with the kids. So great news for you, but I want to hear your guys' take on it because I don't think I have much of a take.
Yeah, and I'm not a gamer either, but when I learn about this stuff, it's interesting. I don't play any of these games. I play chess. That's my gaming. I have the chess app. So whenever it comes to something like this, I'm learning right alongside anyone else who's watching this. But I mean, I have heard of these games. Obviously, Minecraft, Roblox, GTA 5, Fortnite, League of Legends. These are some of the popular games. Is it a problem if these ones rise to the top? And are some of them ones that need to be avoided? GTA is very, very controversial. In my mind, it's one of the hardest ones to justify that there's anything developmentally useful or good about it. So there's a big GTA 5 update to GTA 6 coming up, Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm gonna have to, see. I don't know. Ash, you're the gamer out of the three of us. You have a hot take in these last couple seconds?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is Grand Theft Auto, right? Is going to come out with Grand Theft Auto 6. You were saying Grand Theft Auto 5 also has a huge online update that's coming. So just to generate interest for 6. So I presume that over the summer and over the fall, you're going to have a lot more kids playing Grand Theft Auto to get excited for Grand Theft Auto 6, which again, rated M for mature, for blood, violence, nudity, gore, language, everything in the.
Let's wrap things up. Let's recap here.
Let's recap. Let's go for it.
So we talked about the TikTok ban, first of all. Our conclusion was
Our conclusion was basically that, TikTok will potentially be bought out. If it is bought out, who's it going to be bought out by? And we don't think it's actually going to really go away, do we?
Looks maxing. Let's see here. We talked about, I guess the person can recap, the person who introduced the thing. That would probably make sense.
Yeah.
So for looks maxing, we talked about basically the craziness of all the different subcategories. Some of it seems reasonable because it's makeovers, it's still could be perpetuating people's insecurities about their, self and their appearance, but it gets so intense with hard maxing that people are going to be seeking out elective cosmetic surgeries just to meet some kind of a ideal. K-pop.
And on topic of K-pop, quick legal disclaimer. She might have gotten the surgeries allegedly. Just want to say that up there. So
okay.
For Nick. But yeah, we're just concerned because we're worried that these young fans are being exposed to ideas that can cause insecurities and ultimately lead to negative mental health effects like depression, anxiety about one's body, and things of that nature.
And the fact that it's required to get into
Yes.
a group that you do certain stuff. I don't know what BTS has done. They're the most famous one as far as I can tell in terms of, popular American culture. Do we know if any of them have had?
Allegedly, some of them have had, some nose jobs. Allegedly, I'm not saying they have.
Okay, not
Well, I don't know if
naming
BTS will come for you in this podcast.
I'm just saying their fans can be a little
okay.
enthusiastic.
Interesting. Screen time at behavioral or developmental.
We know that there's a dose response curve to excessive screen time, but it's corollary, and we're not sure what they controlled for because there are other conditions to be considered if you are being exposed to more screen time. That could be developmental delays in itself. That could be, behavioral issues, and where, single parent households, we would need to control for that.
Last but not least, video game monopolies.
Video game monopolies. They're coming. They're taking over. Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, Roblox. They own the industry and probably will continue to do so. That's it.
Bye.